Hi, everybody. It's me again, this time in English. It's forgive me if this moves a bit because I am holding my phone to be able to shoot this. Um, the video today is actually going to be a challenge that I decided to do to myself because actually I cannot live without having a challenge. And in these times of confinement, it's hard to find a challenge. So, what's going to be the challenge? It's gonna be to write in front of you, and you're gonna see a difference in between this image here, which is done with a pro app for filming, and the image of me writing. You're not gonna see me, you're gonna see my screen. So I'm gonna be using the capture feature of my Mac to be able to capture the image of me writing. So so you can see the time. The challenge is to write a short story, a fiction in 30 minutes, starting from having I'm gonna pick an object or a word or whatever is around me, but one object, and this object needs to be the main character of the story. And I only have 30 minutes to pick the object, write the story, and revise it if I have time. And the story needs to have an ending. So I cannot just leave it without an ending. So, just so you know, there's gonna be times in which I'm gonna do it in Portuguese, and then I'm gonna just do the introduction to you in English, and then translate the text in English. There are gonna be times that it's gonna be in French, and times that it's gonna be in English. I'm gonna write in the language that I feel like the most on that given day. And another thing to say is it cannot be based on my personal life, it has to be fiction. Sometimes when you're writing under pressure, and this is a writing exercise, you might be influenced by things that you have read before or have learned before or anything. At the end of the exercise, I'm going to read the text to you. And if I have any influence of any other thing that I read or heard about or anything, I will make it very clear. Okay? So bear with me. Obviously, I am gonna speed up I'm not gonna make you watch 30 minutes of me writing. You are gonna see the images of me writing, but I'm gonna speed it up with the time on the top. You're gonna see it. So you see that it's gonna be really 30 minutes. Leslie. Oh, yes. So, since this is an exercise that is not going to be revised and it's going to be under pressure, please be mindful of the comments. Constructive comments are always welcome, but please be kind because it might hurt sometimes. And lastly, but not least, it's important to know that my first language, my mother language, is Portuguese, Brazilian Portuguese. My second language is English, and my third language is French. So if I ever make a mistake, a grammar mistake, expression mistake, whatever, please feel free to put it in the comments. So that's very helpful for me, and it's gonna help me improve as an English speaker or French speaker, whatever. Okay? So, off you go! So, as you can see, I did it in 30 minutes exactly. So, the object chosen was a radio, and it's done. It's done. So, let's go. I didn't have any inspiration from anything that I read before, other than like history, Second World War history. But the thing is, please forgive me if I made some mistakes with the dates and who invaded who and when, and the timing, because I didn't have time to actually make sure and double check, as you can see in the video. But let's go into the story. The radio. I was sitting there on one of the shelves in a pretty living room, dusty, forgotten. No, not forgotten. Someone still remembered me. I have seen things, or better saying, I have heard things. Let me put the image bigger so I can see. I have heard things. I remember everyone sitting around me to listen to what I had to say. It was 1939, and Hitler had just invaded Poland. The father, the mother, and the six children were all almost glued to me, sitting on their chairs, commenting, "What does that mean?" Then, around 1941, things were even worse. Bombs falling all over London. The family was still there. The three boys didn't have to go to war. I don't know why. The father, the mother, all there, glued to me. Even more, barely breathing. Every word I said seemed to decide whether they were going to live or die. Indeed. Then the war was over. I remember telling them that. The three girls screamed of joy and cried. The boys almost fell from their chairs. Father and mother only smiled, very relieved from what I could see. I know we were very lucky to be alive, for no bomb fell over our roof. But from the conversations I told them, not everyone in England was so lucky. But we were. I told them about the reconstruction of Europe and how the Americans were helping us. One of the girls got married, then another one. I played them a certain Elvis Presley. Then one of the boys got married too, then another girl. Then the two other boys got married almost at the same time. By then, I was playing them a lot of a certain group from Liverpool. The Beatles, they said. They seemed to like it a lot. Sometime later, the children started to have their own children, and father and mother became grandpa and grandma. The girls became mom and auntie, the boys became dad and uncle. I had new companions by now. There was one that almost left me to oblivion. It told things and showed images. I was jealous. Apparently, my family took a while to bring this new brother, this invader, invader, invader. You get it. Apparently, my family took a while to bring this new brother, this invader, to our home. But Grandma still listened to me while cooking. Grandpa liked listening to what I said in the morning while shaving. The kids, or better saying, the new moms and dads, didn't care about me anymore. Such is life. So many things happened, and I wanted so badly to tell them. I wanted to tell them when the first man stepped on the moon, but they preferred the invasor. Luckily enough, I had the chance to repeat it to Grandma during lunch cooking time the next day. Time passed. I felt my energies were starting to run low, but no one seemed to care. Then Grandpa died, and then new things popped up from nowhere. A little box that opens its mouth to swallow a round, shiny disc. Nobody cares about listening to me anymore. Now more than ever. Then Grandma died too. Someone morning decided to cook lunch and remembered to listen to me again. But she broke down in tears and one of her kids silenced me again. Silence can be like a stab. Silence is light, but it can be really, really heavy. And I was too small to carry it. But I was still alive, if you can say that. My home was sold, and I was moved into a very dusty old room in a new home. My companions were boxes. The old invasor was placed there too. Now I was starting to like him. Maybe because now I saw that he was replaced by someone else too. Jealousy. Oh, what an awful feeling. But I couldn't help it. Needless to say, the grandchildren grew up and got married too, and had their own kids too. And one day, someone came in to take some of my companions away. The boy, or the dad now, was going to leave me when he saw me. He hesitated for a moment, then turned round and picked me up, putting me inside the box with other brothers and sisters. I was taken to a new home. The dad was going to place me in another old, dusty room. But then something happened. His little son saw me in the box. Dad, what is that? It's just an old radio, son. It belonged to my great grandfather. Can I have it? What for? I want to play with it. The dad looked at his son, thought for a moment, and said, Okay. The boy took me to his room and started taking out pieces of me, replacing parts of my body with new ones. And when he finished, he went to his dad, as proud as a peacock. Look, Dad, I fixed it! And turned me on, and soon I started talking again. The dad looked very surprised and delighted at the same time. That's wonderful, son. It hasn't worked for years. Years my ass. You didn't let me talk. The kid grew up and went to college. He took me with him. Sometimes he liked listening to what I said when he was about to fall asleep. He became a fine engineer. Excellent job, nice house. But sometimes, when he comes back from work looking sad, beaten by the world, he looks at me on the shelf and lets me speak. And his eyes light up again. He knows he's capable of anything if he was capable of giving me life again. The end. 30 minutes. 30 minutes on the spot. So I am gonna put the entire story on the description. So I am not gonna make any corrections or anything. It's gonna go as raw as a sushi. Okay? Great. I'll see you guys soon. I hope you liked it.